What's going on, guys? My name's Clayton, also known as Commander, and welcome to the League Center for November 1st, 2017. We got a lot of leagues to cover this week, and I'm not going to normally cover all these leagues that we're doing this week, but I need to set a basis so you can see what's going to be upcoming on each League Center each week. Also, we have 4 really nice replays, and we have an interview with YouTube extraordinaire Matt, coach of the Montreal Milotics. So we're going to start off with the GSOA Season 3, Week 9 as always. This is not completely up to date because timing and blues slow, but anyway. So playoffs are a huge thing right now. Like, no joke, a huge thing. So as you see, it's King, Money, Epics, and Joey sitting in the Kanto Conference, and then in the Johto Conference, it's Blue, it's 2K, it's 27, and it's Frankie. And the playoff is tight. Like, especially as 27 just lost, so that makes the Silver Division even more tight. And if Frankie will be picking up more wins, and Frankie could potentially take the spot from the Charlotte Beedrills, and someone just dinged me. I don't know who it was. And on the other side, surprisingly, you have Cal, which is fighting with Money to make the playoffs, and then you have in the red division where it's super close. It's anyone's game, but I think we can decide that King will be making the playoffs. We're going to move on to Lude Season 1, Week 8. This is updated for as current as I can due to the fact that I was the one who updated it this time. So we have Blue, AJ, Techno, 27, Cal, Newman, Scrappy, and Merkit in the playoffs at this point. However, after the match today between Roy and myself, now I'm in the playoff contention, and also T-Bug will face Roy here in a little bit, which would put T-Bug in the talking contention as well. Really close. Be excited to see come next week how this shapes up. Another league, and you'll see this come later in the week, is the SDLA, or it was the TISA, now changed over to the SDLA. I like how I said PDLA, and I don't even know which one's right. I think it's supposed to be PDLA. I'll figure that out later. Anyway, Season 4, post-draft analysis and discussion. It's really a discussion because it's like 50 minutes long, where we go over all the teams in this season, and you'll see the results of that come next week. This is the league that I run. We're going to move on to the UDL Season 4, Week 3, the results that we had when I got this. PokeLife is sitting 3-0 plus 10. Some other people to point out: Eevee, my favorite coach in the UDL, if you can't tell, is sitting 2-1 plus 5. Jay is sitting 1-1, but there's still a match that needs to be put on there. Brain is sitting 1-2, and KMJ is sitting 1-2 as well. You move over to the Villains Conference, and you have Bacon sitting 2-0. You have Derp sitting 1-2. You have Keyhor sitting 1-2. And last but not least, you have John sitting 1-2 as well. And Jude is sitting dead last. I'm going to move on to Dream League, and you're going to see Sylveon and Casey here. I'll explain that in a second. But playoffs are a thing to start worrying about. In the Ultra Sun division, Scrappy is sitting 5-3. Techno's sitting 5-2. The Detroit Terravolts and Coach Nacho is sitting 4-3. Brain and the Lavender Town Luxrays is sitting 4-3. And then you see Sylveon and Casey. I took over for Twong. That's why you don't see Vancouver Goldex here. And don't worry about me making the playoffs. I'm just here to have a good time and come back into Season 5 with some fun. And then in the other Ultra Moon division, we have Tails and the Stanford Celebes sitting 6-1. We have Matt, who we're interviewing here in a few minutes, or quite a few minutes. Montreal Milotics sitting 5-2. Pedro is sitting 4-4 with the Victoria Vaporeons. Newman sitting 3-5. Bacon sitting 2-5 as well. Also, the Tegon, Tapa, Tokotamaros, and Coach Dazzle is sitting 3-4. The USL, yes, the USL, one of the new leagues we're covering, is Season 1, Week 1. And of course, there's some more matches done than that. Looks like it's almost Week 2. Actually, I'm going to say it's Week 2. But that's okay. It was Week 1 when I popped in. You have Joey sitting 1-1. You have Blues obviously sitting 2-0. You have PTL sitting 0-2. You have Cal sitting... Cal's the only one who hasn't done a match. Yeah, and Virgie, it looks like. Cal's sitting 1-0. Then you have Magic sitting 1-1. You have 27 sitting 0-2. You have Virgie sitting 1-0. And you have Epics sitting 1-1. Next league is the CPN, or the Casual Poke Nerds. It's the local league around here that Halo has. These are the results because it's 2-week periods, so every 2 weeks is an actual match. So the winners from last week were Halo, Commander, and Blaine, also known as Ocean, with a 2-0, 1-0, and 6-0 respectively. And the crowd favorite, which is the best coach of the week, you could say, went to Kyle this week. We had the DAL, or the DAL, which is another league we're picking up. It's a league I joined from, I think it was Immortal Men's. So either Immortal Men's or Markleton. But here's all the teams. We'll be showing the results come next week of the matches. There's a really nice close match that you'll see next week between myself and Ice. And then the WCL is a league that Matrix is starting. If you don't remember Matrix, he'll be on quite more a bit now. But it's just in the pre-drafting form, so there's nothing to talk about. Another pre-draft is the PCBLA. PCBLA, yeah. I couldn't find a whole lot of information on this, but I'm going to be covering it. It's pre-draft as far as I know. It's Season 7 as far as I know, but they just had a Halloween tournament, so things are a little messy, but you'll see that come in a few weeks. KMJ's League, if you remember the GFL, this is the better version, I guess? I don't know, but MWPA, Season 3 pre-draft, just some people that keep your mind on. KMJ, Virgie, Metal, Brain, Keyhor, John, Commander, and Money are the people returning, and with the potential of Mio, Tea Party, Jude, Eevee, Blue, Epics, and Daddy could be joining that list. Now we have 3 tournaments to talk about. We have the EBT Draft Tournament. Here's 7 coaches that we'll be following, just hoping they do well. MP Knife, coach of Nissan Altaria. Point Blank, who is technically coach of the Winnipeg Blue Blastoise. I don't know why he's the Portage Herdiers. Odds, coach of the Memphis Bewares. It's Yeah, coach of the Miami Mad Champs. Mia, coach of Oklahoma City Thunder. Us. Tuan, coach of Vancouver Golducks. And Fancyfy, coach of the West Virginia Wingulls. We'll be showing results of that, kind of like how we've been doing Brawl for All every week. Another draft league we're covering, and we'll be talking with Matt on, is the Good Saturday Draft Tournament. It is it's not as big as Brawl for All, but still. But some people will be talking about, there's quite a few in this one. We got Jayhawk. I don't know if it's the same Jayhawk. I assume so. I haven't seen him for a while. There'll be King L5. There'll be Mio, Hiker again, Scrappy, Granky, Tails, Matt, as you'll see, Pedro, Yeah, Jay, and Sablo. And speaking of Brawl for All, they are in the quarterfinals right now. That is It's Yeah versus Techno, which It's Yeah is moving on to the semifinals. And then it is David versus Jack. Then Hiker versus Sablo. And Crick versus Nader. And even though we're covering so many leagues, if you want your league covered, just comment down below or message me on Discord. So that's all for all your main news. Now we're going to move on to the replays for the week, which we have 4 of them. Welcome to the replay portion of this League Center. We got 4 replays to show you. First one is the GSA Season 3 Week 8 match between Week 9 match. One of those 2. Again, it's Epic's coach of the Ursula Ursaring, and Joey, coach of Los Angeles Latias. This was a really close game, but we're not going to show you the ending. So, Here we go. Garchomp comes in as Zygarde sets up a substitute. It's going to be EQ to get rid of EQ to get rid of the sub, and Extreme Speed with the Rough Skin is going to knock out Garchomp and Zygarde, bring it to a 3-3. Here comes Mega Beedrill, and here comes Rotom Wash. U-turn taking out the Rotom Wash, leaving Mega Beedrill will be on 1%. Here comes Ribombee, the star of the show, Barry. Here comes in Heatran. And Hidden Power Ground doing a lot, and a Z move, Z Sunny Day. Flamethrower is obviously going to take out Ribombee. Here comes back in the Beedrill. Does it outspeed? It does outspeed to take with a Drill Run. Here comes in Xatu, doing a crap ton of damage, knocking off a Keyberry. Stored Power is going to crit and take out. And then here comes in the Ditto. And this is a weird set. So roosting up. And you're going to see this goes on for a while. It ends up that it's the Calm Mind game. And Joey's going to be the one that will pick up the W here. We're going to move on to Lude Season 1, Week 8. It is Commander Coach Sylveon KC versus Scrappy, Coach of the Dallas Dugongs, in a really close match. So an EQ is going to do a lot of damage to Mega Scizor, as Superpower is going to take out Excadrill, as Excadrill goes down, making it 3-4. Here comes in Rotom Wash, AJ's house. Volt Switch is going to take out the Mega Scizor, as Mega Altaria comes in on the Gengar. Sludge Wave going to take out Mega Altaria, but that's okay, because here comes in AJ's house again, which is Scarfed. It's going to be a switch going into Keldeo here, as Volt Switch is going to do quite a lot to Keldeo. And here comes in Espeon, barely living 2% from the rocks. Psychic's going to take out Keldeo, as it's going to be a switch into Sylveon here, which it's a roll, but it's down to 3%. Sylveon's going to click Hyper Voice here. And it's going to be going into Rotom here. Volt Switch going to take out Sylveon. And here comes in the Gengar, and it's going to be a Scarfed Volt Switch, going to take out the Gengar, giving the win to Clayton, me, Commander Coach Sylveon KC over Scrappy. We're going to move on to if I remember right, is a Good Saturday tournament, draft tournament match. It is Matt, who is coach of the Montreal Milotics, going to take on Mayo in a really close game here. Earth Power doing quite a bit to a Filter Aggron. So here comes up a Aurora Veil, as there goes an Alolan Ninetales. Here comes in Mega Heracross, right? Yep, Mega Heracross. Putting up a substitute, as an Aerial Ace will take it down. And where will this go? Bullet Seed. Taking out the Mega Aggron. So now there's 2 Genies left. Hidden Power, something, will take out the Mega Heracross, and here comes Bulu. What can Bulu do? Horn Leech is going to take out the Lando, and here comes in Thundurus, and Horn Leech is going to crit and take out the Thundo. So, Matt picking up the win here. Our last replay this week is from Lude. It is an amazing game. It is Blue, coach of the Miami Finnies, against 27, coach of the Mariah Mimikyus, and the little birdie that could. Here we go. So Grass Knot is going to take off a sub, as Rock Tomb's going to miss. That's just 27's luck right there. Grass Knot going to do a good chunk of damage, as Rock Tomb going to lower the speed here, which is probably what he needs here. It's going to be a switch going into Rufflet, of all things, which can take a Grass Knot like a champion. Here comes in Heatran. Tailwind, bringing up the speed. It's a Z move. It's going to be Z all-out pummeling. Going to almost going to one-shot. Fire Blast is going to miss. Almost going to one-shot a Heatran. Brave Bird's going to come doing a crap ton of damage to the Torn. It's going to be a switch going back as the Brave Bird's going to come almost taking out Heatran. And look at this little Rufflet go. A Brave Bird going to take out a Heatran. Rufflet takes out a Heatran of all things. Here comes in Mega Kangaskong with the Drain Punch. But that is an amazingness play. Let's see what happens for the rest of the match. Here comes Inkilia on this Fortress, which the Fortress does not like Volt Switch at all. Here comes back into the Dawn Fan. As Substitute comes out on the Dawn Fan. Grass Knot obviously going to take out that sub. But Rock Tomb's going to hit, bringing it down to 6%. You click Ice Shard. You do not click Ice Shard. You actually click U-Turn. Go into the Fortress as Rock Tomb comes. That doesn't do a whole lot, but it lowers the speed. Don't even know if that helps. Gyro Ball, probably. Rock Tomb. Toxic. Bulldoze to lower the speed even more. Rapid Spin to get the rocks away. More rocks. That has to be the slowest that you've ever seen a Pokemon. Here comes Inkilia. What will it do? It's going to Volt Switch, taking out the Fortress. And going to into Mega Lopunny. Into Torn. It's going to be a switch as a return comes. Not quite taking out, but the return will end up taking out Mega Kangaskong. It's Torn versus Samus. Does quite a bit. Here comes a Hurricane, which lands and takes out Mega Lopunny, and it's Thundy T versus Torn T. Thundy T wins that like every time. So, 27 picking up the win against Blue. That's all for our replays. Now we're going to move on to the interview for this week, which is Matt, coach of the Montreal Milotics. What's going on, guys? This is going to be the interview for the week, and if you couldn't tell by the title below, we are interviewing a very, very good coach. He is also a YouTuber, and he does awesome content. Obviously, his channel is going to be in the description, as he's kind of the first YouTuber we've done so far. I don't count Blue at all. But we are interviewing Matt, coach of the Montreal Milotics. Say hello, Matt.
Hey guys, how's it going? Matt here.
And Matt is the main league that you'll see is Dream League, obviously, but there's two other leagues that we'll be talking about, along with all the questions. And he got lucky. He wasn't like bombarded with questions like Scrappy was. So we're gonna
I can see.
We're gonna move on to the three leagues that we're going to talk about. One of them is obviously the Dream League Season 4. Another one is the GS Draft, or the Good Saturday Draft Tournament, which I've just picked up to start talking about, thanks to And then there's another league that Matt wanted to talk about. So let's start left to right, as always. The Good Saturday Draft Tournament, just the team of Mew with the Z-Crystal, Tapu Bulu, Thundurus Therian, Savali, Nidoking, Vaporeon, Alolan Ninetales, and Mega Heracross. Matt, did you want to talk about kind of how you would...
I mean, I felt like in specifically this kind of tournament style, that having Pokemon that could really be multi-role Pokemon, like Mew, like Silvally, like even Thundurus can be kind of offensive, and on the physical and special side, I really want to have a lot of different options to use. And I love the fact that Medium Z is allowed, so expect to see that.
And we're going to go straight on over to the Dream League Season 4, where Matt is currently 5-2 plus 13 at the recording of this video. He has a team, which is a rain team, if you couldn't figure out already, of Magearna, Pelipper, Roserade, Porygon 2, Bronzong, Electivire, Mega Swampert, Latias, Snorlax, Pangoro, and Scyther. So talk a little bit about the rain team you have here.
I mean, I got Magearna with the third pick in the draft, and I felt like I needed to have something that could take care of fire and ground weaknesses. And I mean, Pelipper just fits right in with that. And I've used Pelipper a lot in the past, but it's my first time using Mega Swampert for it, and it's really interesting. really starting to understand that I have to use Adamant Mega Swampert. It's cost me a game in the past, and I don't plan to do that again. But other than that, like I'm really fighting weak, but I've been trying to make up for it with my Latias and with my Scyther. Scyther is kicking ass right now. I love it.
That's pretty good for a T5 Scyther.
It is. It is. I think it got like a what to do it. It beat a Dragon Dance Salamence 1v1. It was awesome.
We're going to move on to the last league we have here. I didn't remember which league you said this was, but
It's a UBLN.
UBLN,
Yeah.
and I don't know your record, obviously, because I don't have the doc, but...
Yeah, no worries. It's actually I just picked up the league. It's a I'm replacing another coach who dropped out, and it's a Wi-Fi league. It's gonna be my first Wi-Fi league actually. So I'm excited for that. I made a couple changes to the team. Like this wasn't the team I originally had, but I feel like with the changes that I made, I really have a bit more of a chance to do something that will fit my play style. So,
and I do
yeah.
want to point out for the viewers who haven't put it together, try and find one Pokemon that is in at least 2 out of the 3 drafts he has. They're all different Pokemon. And
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Wow, I didn't know. I didn't even notice that.
that's like personally, I couldn't do that. I know 27 would cry if he had to do that, but that just shows the ability we have here.
I mean, I think it's just the fact that I didn't pick my team for UBLN. It was mostly given to me. I think I only added Ferrothorn, Smeargle, Druddigon, and Gardevoir, and the rest were already taken for me. But the other stuff, I'd used a bunch of these models in the past before. I think the only mod on my DL team that I didn't use was Snorlax, or not Snorlax, sorry, Bronzong and Swampert. That's it. Everything else I've used.
I see. So we're going to move on to everyone's favorite part, which is the questions. We're going to leave Blue's many questions for last as always, and we're going to start with a question from... Actually, I don't even know if this is a question, but it's from 27, and it says, "Fight me." So if you want that to be a question, you can. If not, we can move on.
We can move on. We already had a conversation about it, and I think I won, so...
Okay, we're going to move on to Matrix's question, which was, what was the first league you ever joined?
The first league I ever joined was the Dream League, or the UCL. So back when UCL Season 2 was around, the then commissioner of the Dream League, McCree, just said, hey, we're going to take all these teams that are in the UCL, you'll be assigned a team, and you'll be that coach for them. So I was assigned the Bronx Beartics, and I was basically Joey Light, I guess. And it was a lot of fun, and it opened the door to all of this now, and I've had a ton of fun the past year and a half.
And now we're going to move on to Blue's many questions. The first one is, how did you become a YouTube extraordinaire?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a YouTube extraordinaire. I think I'm not even a YouTube. But, I just have fun with what I'm doing. I really enjoy it. And I guess I'm trying to be as consistent as possible. Like the top 6s that I do, I love doing those. I'm starting to branch out a bit more outside of just doing draft league stuff. I'm doing those top 15 moves you've never heard of. That was really popular, and I'm happy that I did well. And yeah, that's it.
I'm going to move on to his next question is, do you like to read stories?
I do. I think Blue has a great story going on in the Dream League, and I enjoy that. So for all those who know about that story, I'll leave it at that.
Next question from Blue is, Fappy 10, Crappy 10, or Nappy 10?
I'll take the King and Nappy 10. Go with that. That way I'm not choosing between two of my favorite YouTubers.
And then the next question is, who is your daddy?
Pedro. Pedro's my daddy.
And the last question we have from Blue is, how do you use Gothitelle?
You bring it in on a Klefki and you win.
I'll take it that there's more to that story than...
He knows. Yeah. And I think everyone, by the time this comes out, everyone will see that too. So yeah, who's on my channel at least.
Okay, so thank you, Matt, for joining us.
That's it. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you letting me come on.
And for everyone who's watching this, leave a comment down below for next week's coaches we're interviewing, because we're interviewing Merkit and his girlfriend Angel, which are the coaches of the Kentucky Tora Cats. So that is all.
I'll leave a question for sure.
That is all. My name is Clayton, also known as Commander. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment down below, and we will see you again next time.